है फीकी शाम से, हुई ना तो से बात भी, बिना मैं तेरे बेमजा हुई हूँ देखो आज भी। करूँ मैं ये गुजारिशें, मोहब्बतों का मोल दे, नींदों में मेरी ख्वाब का जरा सा मीठा घोल दे। मैं बन जाऊं तेरी, मैं बन जाऊं तेरी इश्के दी चाशनी, है मिठी मिठी चाशनी। मैं ना मांगूंगी धूप धीमी धीमी, मैं ना मांगू चांदनी। मेरे ख्यालों में हमेशा तू बातें सारी अच्छी अच्छी करता हो। देखूं सुबह सुबह जो तुझे तो सारा दिन अच्छा है गुजरता। ये कैसी तेरी आरज़ू, ये कैसी तेरी ख्वाहिशें, तुझी से देखूं मैं करूं तेरी ही फरमाइशें। मैं बन जाऊं तेरी, मैं बन जाऊं तेरी इश्के दी चाशनी, है मिठी मिठी चाशनी। तेरी वफाओं का उजाला हमेशा मेरे संग संग चलता हो। तारे गिनूं क्यों रातों को मैं, मेरा तो कभी दिन ही ना ढलता। निगाहों में जो ख्वाब सा आता है तेरा प्यार है, तू ही मेरे सामने, तेरा ही इंतजार है। मैं बन जाऊं तेरी, मैं बन जाऊं तेरी इश्के दी चाशनी, है मिठी मिठी चाशनी। मैं ना मांगूंगी धूप धीमी धीमी, मैं ना मांगू चांदनी। तेरे जीने में मुझसे हो इश्के दी चाशनी, है मिठी मिठी चाशनी, मिठी मिठी चाशनी, है मिठी मिठी चाशनी।
झमाझम नाच आजे, धमाधम ढोल बाजे, नॉन स्टॉप हल्ला मचेगा। ओए नाचो सारे पापा पापा पीपनी पे, आजा नया स्टेप सीखे, नॉन स्टॉप हल्ला मचेगा। ओए नाचो सारे अपनी फेमस है रात वाली यारियां, जाले सारा जहां। बेथलपुर मां सुन ले ओ छोरी कमरिया, कमरिया रे लाल कमरिया।
Till I can't no more. I got the horses in the back, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that be nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a the tractor, lean all in my bladder.
ओ साडे घर विच होई यारो खुशियां दी लैंडिंग भाभी लगदी परियां वर्गी वीरा लगदा किंग सेरा बन के मुंडे ने जदों जचना है बन के मुंडे ने जदों जचना है सारे बरातियां ने नचना है उदों सारे बरातियां ने नचना है चलूगा एक महीना मामा भी नचूगा ते नचूगा भैन कदीना थकना है सारे बरातियां ने नचना है उदों सारे बरातियां ने नचना है नचना ना आवे भावें ਲੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਹਿਲਾ ਦਿਓ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਨ ਤੇ ਚੜਾ ਦਿਓ
I bet y'all having a good time out there. Que no pare la fiesta, don't stop the party. Que no pare la fiesta, don't stop the party. I'm running through the world like a running back. Scarface world's mine running back. 30,000 people in here on me. 80,000 people in London, Wembley. 90,000 people in Morocco, and I'm just getting warmed up. Papo, catch me with red one in Stockholm, Beirut Cafe, getting my drink on. While all the pretty women hit the hookah, all of them sweet, azúcar. Dale di fruta. They can't, they won't, they never will stop the party. They can't, they won't, they never will stop the party. I bet y'all having a good time out there. Que no pare la fiesta, don't stop the party. Que no pare la fiesta, don't stop the party. I'm from the city where they stretch, yeah, like slinkies. And now I'm doing shows in Helsinki.
to let it go, put on a show. I wanna see how you lose control. So leave it behind, 'cause we have a night to get away. So come on and fly with me as we make our great escape. So baby, don't worry, you are my only. You won't be lonely, even if the sky is falling down. You'll be my only, no need to worry. Baby, are you down, 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 down? Baby, are you down, 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 down? Even if the sky is falling down, just let it be. Come on and bring your body next to me. I'll take you away, hey. Turn this place into our private getaway. So leave it behind, 'cause we have a night to get away. So come on and fly with me as we make our great escape. So why don't we run away? Don't worry, you are my only. You won't be lonely, even if the sky.
तुझको बना करके ले जाए बदली की दुनिया तुझको बना करके negotiate.
Y'all Venmo?
Who wants to make Richa? And you want to let us know? You want to make Richa? Come over here.
I have one thing to say. I'm represented by counsel.
Hold on, hold on. Is the council getting rid of Richa?
Our family's coming together. Our family union. We're like family union.
No. We talk to $1.
We are representatives. I don't have a wedding. At least he's brother. His brother. It's lucky it's a $2 bill.
You can take your time.
How about this? Did they even get the shoes? That's it. We're done. Take the money. We're done. I'll give you all of this money. Take it. You're done. We're done. Come on.
You want Richa? Come on. Are you so scared of us?
No. He has time. Are you
scared of your sisters now? Come on. Why are you hiding? Come on. Why are you hiding? All right, 1,000 per person.
Jesus Christ, girl. You got $100.
I got it. You got it? No.
You all can. I'm sorry. You don't care. 1,000 per person. Right now. All right,
here you go. 50 per head. Here's 50 per head. See that in your hand? I want to see the scissors. Give it the scissors to Nikhil and $500 game.
Count it. It's for us. This is the last negotiation we've had today. Not right now. But he's taking him off. Not right now. Not right now. Yeah, take him off. Take him off. दूल्हे का सहरा सुहाना लगता है, दूल्हे का सहरा सुहाना लगता है, दुल्हन का तो दिल दीवाना लगता है, दूल्हे का सहरा सुहाना लगता है, दुल्हन का तो दिल दीवाना लगता है। Happy Nani. Lots of आशीर्वाद। आयुष्मान भाव। विजयी भैया करो। एक फोटो वेरी नाइस। ये दिन बड़ा सुहाना आया, आओ मंगल गाएं हम। ये दिन
बड़ा सुहाना आया, आओ मंगल गाए हम। ये दिन बड़ा सुहाना मेरा महबूब आया है, मेरा महबूब आया है। नजारो
खुदा शुक्र तेरा, ऐ खुदा शुक्र तेरा, शुक्र तेरा, शुक्र तेरा। ये मेरा यार चला बांध के सर पर सेरा। ऐ खुदा शुक्र तेरा, ऐ खुदा शुक्र तेरा, शुक्र तेरा, शुक्र तेरा। ऐ खुदा शुक्र तेरा, ऐ खुदा शुक्र तेरा, शुक्र तेरा, शुक्र तेरा। ये मेरा यार चला बांध के
हमारी सुंदर सुंदर गुलाबी साड़ी में
घर आया मेरा परी, मेरी आँखियाँ ने
कल्पना मामी जी
घर आया मेरा परदेसी, प्यास बुझी मेरी अखियन की। हो मेरे मन का प्रेमी है तूने
हम बहुत दूर से आ रहे हैं।
थोड़ी देर में चाय पानी पिलाएंगे।
पर बनी ना बोले, बड़ी दूर से आया वरना पर बनी ना बोले।
शुक्र तेरा, शुक्र तेरा। ये मेरा यार चला बांध के सर पर सेरा।
सारी विजिट करो आप सबको।
Another rookie.
आज हमारे दिल में, आज हमारे दिल में अजब ये उलझन है। गाने बैठे गाना सामने समधन है। हम कुछ आज सुनाए ये उनका भी मन है। गाने बैठे गाना सामने समधन है। कानों की बालियां चांद सूरज लगे, ओ कानों की बालियां चांद सूरज लगे, ये बनारस की साड़ी खूब सजे, राज की बात बताएं, हाँ राज की बात बताएं, समधी जी घायल हैं, आज भी जब समधन की खनकती पायल है। राज की बात बताएं, समधी जी घायल हैं, आज भी जब समधन की खनकती पायल है। होठों की ये हंसी, आंखों की ये हया, होठों की ये हंसी, आंखों की ये हया, इतनी मासूम तो होती है बस दुआ, राज की बात बताएं, राज की बात बताएं, समधी खुश किस्मत है, लक्ष्मी है समधन जी जिनसे घर जन्नत है। राज की बात बताएं, समधी खुश किस्मत है, लक्ष्मी है समधन जी जिनसे घर जन्नत है।
Welcome everyone. Suswagatam. We are gathered here today for the wedding of my cousin Nikhil and Richa, an event that many of us have been hoping and praying for since the first moment that Nikhil introduced us to Richa. Well, at least many of us on his side of the family. But all joking aside, the ceremony that I am about to officiate, thanks to the power vested in me by heredity and also the state of California, and with the help of my Guruji Nana, Shri Shamnarayan Shukla, is a ceremony of great antiquity and importance. Versions of this ceremony involving hymns that date back many thousands of years to the earliest days of civilization have united countless millions of couples. And now, amazingly, Nikhil and Richa too. So the wedding ceremony, or vivah, is one of the most important rites of passage or sanskars in all of Hindu life. The vivah marks the passage from the first traditional life stage, or that of the student, called brahmacharya, which law school really allowed them to prolong, and the beginning of the second stage, or grihast, which denotes home life. This means that Richa and Nikhil will no longer be living just for themselves, but also for each other, for their families, and for their whole community. For the business law inclined among you, this will be the most important merger that they ever work on. And they would do well to remember that it is a merger and not an acquisition. So, this ceremony is very involved and there are lots of terms and conditions. But I will do my best to explain what each of the rites means and what significance it holds for the couple's future. And now with that, let us give a warm welcome to the bride.
जगाए मन मस्त मगन बस तेरा नाम दोहराए मन मस्त मगन बस तेरा नाम दोहराए चाहे भी तो भूल न पाए मन मस्त मगन बस तेरा नाम दोहराए मन मस्त मगन तेरा नाम बस तेरा नाम दोहराए मन मस्त मगन बस तेरा नाम दोहराए चाहे भी तो भूल न पाए मन मस्त मगन बस तेरा नाम दोहराए मन मस्त मगन तेरा नाम दोहराए
Now for some audience participation. Everyone, please repeat after me in welcoming the bride and her parents. Say swasti. I can't hear you say again. Swasti. Swasti. That means greetings, and suswagatam. Welcome. Thank you. Now that the bride has arrived, the bride and groom will formally greet each other for the first time ever, of course, by giving each other a garland of flowers. This is called Jaymala. Thank you. And now, Nikhil, you will give yours. All right, thank you. Please be seated. So now we can roll up our sleeves and properly get started. But because, thankfully, this is not a South Indian wedding, I will keep my shirt on. Before we really begin, we must purify the bride and groom with holy water from the Ganga River. This will remove any bad thoughts, evil influences, and say any lingering anxieties about hours unbilled. All right. Om apavitrih pavitro va sarvavastham gatopi va yah smaret pundarikaksham aksham sabahya bhyantarah shuchihi. Now, likewise, we will cleanse the mandap and the ground on which the bride and groom are sitting. Nikhil, after all, is sitting on it. Om Prithvi Mantrasya Meru Prishtha Rishi Sutalam Chandah Kurmo Devata Asane Viniyogah. Om Prithvi Tvaya Dhrita Loka Ga Devi Tvam Vishnuna Dhrita Tvam Chadharaya Mam Devi Pavitram Kuru Chasanam. All right. Now that we've purified everything, we need to formally announce our intentions. Without this declaration of our intent, things are not official. So let me quickly say where we are, what we are doing, and see if you can identify some of the words I'm going to say. Om Adhyaitasya Brahmanoni Dvitiya Praharardhe Shri Shveta Varah Kalpe America Mahadvipe California Pradeshe San Jose Nagare Ashad Mase Shukla Pakshe Shanivar Vasare Chaturthi Tithau Nikhil Richa Vivaha Sanskara Sampadanam Karishye. Great. Now at this point we will further crowd our mandap by inviting into our presence a large host of Vedic gods. Om Swastina Indro Vridhrashrava Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Starmihi Swastino Brihaspatir Dadhatu Om Agnir Devata Vato Devata Suryo Devata Chandrama Devata Vasavo Devata Rudro Devata Adityo Devata Maruto Devata Vishve Devo Devata Brihaspatir Devatendro Devata Aruno Devata. And of course, of equal importance as we set up is the presence of holy water. So we will likewise invite into our presence the great rivers of India, including Ganga and Yamuna, to fill this kalash or water vessel. Om Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Samnidhima Kuru Om Ganga Dhisaradbhyo Namaha. And we will acknowledge them, the bride and groom will acknowledge them by placing this coconut on the kalash and garnishing it with, go ahead, and garnishing it with this kumkum and a little bit of rice. Great. So, now that we have welcomed all of the gods into our company, we can begin Ganesh Puja. Now, when performing any Hindu ceremony, Ganesh is the most important god to some. Not just because his elephant head is awesome and very attractive, but more importantly because he is the god of good fortune. So we will give him some preferential treatment today and make him a series of offerings so that he may remove any obstacles before this marriage. Everything before this point can be thought of as preamble to the Ganesh Puja. This is where we really get going. So today we will start with 3 mantras to invoke his presence. Om Vakratunda Mahasurya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. This mantra we have praised Ganesh's large figure, which we have to be the only religion in which we praise the largeness of our gods. Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapitha Jambu Phalasara Bhakshitam Umasutam Shokavinasha Karanam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Gnanam Tva Ganapatim Havamahe Priyanam Tva Priyapatim Havamahe Nidhinam Tva Nidhipatim Havamahe Vasomama Ahamajani Garbhadhama Tamajasi Garbhadham. Now that Lord Ganesh has been invoked and is being represented by this nice little statue, the bride and bridegroom will make a series of offerings to him. Holy water, flowers, rice, incense, a lit diya or lamp, and some prasad in the form of fruit. So when I say and when I hand them the materials, they will take each of these items and place them before the god. So first we have holy water. So take this flower petal, and when I say, so snanam samarpayami, that's holy water. Next is sandalwood paste. Chandanam samarpayami, just place it on him. Next is flower petals. Pushpam samarpayami. And samarpayami just means I offer. Akshatam samarpayami, that is rice. Dhupam samarpayami, so just waft dhoop in the direction of Lord Ganesh. Deepam darshayami, so just, there's a lit, the lit, diya should be lit, is it not? There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. 2 or 3 rounds should be sufficient.
Should I get
Yes, and finally, Nevedyam samarpayami, offer this wonderful Chiquita banana. Awesome. So now that we have had our Ganesh Puja and Ganesh has hopefully agreed to remove all obstacles before this wedding, we will start the rituals associated with the marriage ceremony. Now, Hindus in general are good at metaphor. We have our murtis to represent our gods. The kalash full of Ganga Jal represents all of the rivers of India, the flowers and so on that we've offered. Each represent something specific. And all this ritual that we perform is symbolically connected with truths larger than ourselves. Alas, even holy men cannot control the sounds of planes. Anyway, among all this metaphor, there is one thing in this ceremony that very much is not. You see, it's not enough for us to talk of tying a knot. We have to literally knot Nikhil and Richa together. So at this point, Nikhil's Seema Badi Ma, I think, will come up and tie Nikhil and Richa together. Nikhil with Nikhil's angprasth here, his shawl, and Richa's sari will be. And as we do this, we will make a brief offering to Goddess Lakshmi. Lakshmi Priya Harshadatri Lakshmi Riva Janapriya Sobhagyada Sada Strinam Haridresh. Now for the remainder of the ceremony, they will very literally be hitched. Great. So now in all of the most important Hindu rites, after doing Ganesh Puja, we must light a holy fire and make burnt offerings to the ancient Vedic god of fire, Agni, as well as to the other deities that he, in his personification as flame, is standing in for. Brahma, Indra, Soma, and the 3 holy elements linking earth and heaven, Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, among others. So now I will light the fire. There is a mantra that we must recite as the fire is being lit. Perhaps that will help. Om Agnim Dutam Purodadhe Havyavahamu Pabruve Devam Asadayadihi. And so, so long as we can keep that there and the fire will stay kindled, the bride and groom will now make offerings of Havan Samagri, which is a mixture of items to be offered to the fire, and I will make offerings of ghee on their behalf to the various hungry deities who must bless this union. The word that I will say for you to make the offering is Swaha. So whenever I say Swaha, go ahead and offer. So, Om Prajapataye Swaha. Idam Prajapataye Namama. Next is Om Indraye Swaha. Idam Indraye Namama. Om Agnaye Swaha. Idam Agnaye Namama. Om Somaya Swaha. Idam Somaya Namama. Om Bhu Swaha. Idam Agnaye Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha. Idam Vayave Namama. Om Swaha Swaha. Idam Suryaya Namama. Om Agnaye Svishtakrite Swaha. Idam Agnaye Namama. Om Bhurbhuva Swah Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Swaha. And that 2 more times of Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurbhuva Swah Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Great. All right, awesome. Everyone still with me? This is where it starts to get good. So having lit the holy fire and made several offerings, we're now going to get off our feet and involve the fire in some choreography. Now, arguably, this is the most important rite of the Hindu marriage. It's called the Agni Pradakshina, or the Mangal Fere, in which Nikhil and Richa will walk around the sacred fire several times. Now, in many traditions, each of the rounds can be taken to symbolize one of the Purusharths, or the four major goals of human life on earth. These are Dharma, or duty, Artha, or prosperity, Kama, or pleasure, and finally Moksha, or spiritual enlightenment. Before the Mangal Fere, we will make offerings of popped grain, or laja, to Lord Agni. And so at this time, I would like to call up Richa's brother Arjun, and I guess several of her cousins who have helpfully provided this offering on the bride and groom's behalf. Om Imam Laja Navapabhyagno Samriddhi Karane Tava Mama Tubhyam Cha Mama Vachananta Dagnir Anumanyatamaya Swaha Idam Agnaye Namama. Great. Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks, guys.
We will have Nikhil, we'll have Richa lead the first 4 fere, and then Nikhil, it will be your turn. After I say the mantra, you can start walking. Om Tubhyamagne Paryavahansa Suryam Mahatuna Sah Punah Patibhyo Jayadagne Prajasah. All right. Om Tubhyamagne Paryavahansa Suryam Vahatuna Sah Punah Patibhyo Jayadagne Prajasah. And you guys can continue, just continuously orbit. Om Tubhyamagne Paryavahansa Suryam Vahatuna Sah Punah Patibhyo Jayadagne Prajasah. Yeah. Yes. Om Tubhyamagne Paryavahansa Suryam Vahatuna Sah Punah Patibhyo Jayadagne Prajasah. All right. And now, after waiting so patiently, Nikhil, it is your turn to lead around the fire. Om Tubhyamagne Paryavahansa Suryam Vahatuna Sah Punah Patibhyo Jayadagne Prajasah. Yes, your dress is not an offering to Agni, so don't do that. Om Tubhyamagne Paryavahansa Suryam Vahatuna Sah Punah Patibhyo Jayadagne Prajasah. And now the final round. Om Tubhyamagne Paryavahansa Suryam Vahatuna Sah Punah Patibhyo Jayadagne Prajasah. All right. Congratulations. Okay. Now, for good measure, because the other remaining cousins are here, we will make one other offering of laja to Lord Agni before we move on. So if the cousins could please come onto the stage, into the mandap, I should say. And when I say what word you will offer? Very good, very good. There will be a quiz afterward. All right. Om Imam Laja Navapabhyagno Samriddhi Karane Tava Mama Tubhyam Cha Mama Vachananta Dagnir Anumanyatamaya Swaha Idam Magnaye Namama. Thank you. All right. Now, the next portion of the ceremony, I should gather these. The wedding ceremony cannot be done until these 2 steps have been done. So the Sat Fere have been completed, and now we do another rite of 7. It's called the Saptapadi, or 7 steps. Now this is, each one of these steps represents a vow that Nikhil and Richa will take as they embark on their married life. So I will put, just so that we don't lose count, given that they are lawyers and not mathematicians, 7 supari nuts, betel nuts, on the floor with some rice. And as they take each of the 7 steps, Richa will kick over one of the supari nuts to keep count of the vows that they are making. So the first step that Nikhil and Richa take will symbolize the nourishment and care that they provide each other as they embark on married life. Great. The second step, the second vow that they take, symbolizes the strength that they will need. And as we all know, living with Nikhil requires significant strength. The third step symbolizes the wealth and prosperity that they hope to earn, or at least enough to pay off law school loans. The fourth step symbolizes the sharing of the simple joys and many pleasures that life has to offer. The fifth step that they take symbolizes their vow to grow their family. And if that's any source of ambiguity to you, I'm sure many aunties can tell you exactly what that means. The sixth step symbolizes their enjoyment of the seasons. And we can understand this, again, metaphorically, not just to mean literally the seasons of the year, but also life's seasons, with sunnier, happy days, as well as darker, more challenging times. And the seventh and final step symbolizes their vow to preserve their lifelong friendship and their commitment to cherishing each other and each other's families forever. Nikhil and Richa, now that you have circled the holy fire 7 times and taken the 7 steps, you are, per our traditions, husband and wife. No cheering, we're not done yet. There's still plenty of things left to do. Nikhil, at this point you will apply sindoor, or red vermilion powder, to the part in Richa's hair 7 times. And now in this case, the color red symbolizes the vitality that is embodied by blood. Now this energy, this life force, likewise, is meant to provide inspiration to Richa and Nikhil as they embark upon their married life. By placing sindoor in Richa's hair, Nikhil is affirming his devotion to her. And Richa, for her part, is supposed to wear sindoor every day for the rest of her married life to remind everyone that she's off the market. So Nikhil, go ahead.
Okay.
All right. Congratulations. Now to celebrate, you will each feed each other a little bit of prasad. So take each one of you one of these laddus.
Give me a little bit.
The rest of us, of course, will have to wait until lunch to have anything to eat. So you guys take your time. Wonderful. So next we will take a slight rest from Sanskrit mantras to take in some slightly less ancient verse. In 1958, when Richa's Dadiji, Srimati Sharmishta Devi, got married, her father wrote her a poem and recited it on her wedding day. And now today, Richa's Dadiji would like to recite a couple of passages from that poem for Richa. Dadiji is about to say, "Dear daughter, now that you are a married woman, fulfill your duties and make your house as good as heaven. Move through life with God's grace, the blessings of your teachers, and the love and support of friends and family. You will face many distractions, but as this sacred fire is witness, Remember to uphold your duties and the promises you've made to each other today.
प्रगति पथ के सोपानों पर प्रतिदिन आगे बढ़ते जाना बेटी निज कर्तव्य निभाना अपने गृह को स्वर्ग बनाना विविध भावनाएं इस मन में प्रतिदिन उठती ही रहती हैं पर भावना से कर्तव्य श्रेष्ठ है इसको मत बिसराना बेटी निज कर्तव्य निभाना अपने घर को स्वर्ग बनाना एक नया संसार बनाओ एक सुंदर उद्यान सजाओ उसमें सदा यत्नशील हो सुंदर सुंदर सुमन खिलाना बेटी निज कर्तव्य निभाना अपने घर को स्वर्ग बनाना अग्निदेव को साक्षी मान कर अग्निदेव को साक्षी मान कर सभ्यजनों का मन में ध्यान धर जो प्रण आज किए कल्याणी उसको मत बिसराना बेटी निज कर्तव्य निभाना अपने गृह को स्वर्ग बनाना
I will be joined on stage or up at the front of the mandap by my guru, Nana, Shri Sham Narayan Shukla, and he will join me in reciting a final blessing for the couple, or Shakhochar, on behalf of many of the gods. Sindhu Saraswati cha Yamuna Godavari Narmada Kaveri Sharayur Mahendra Tanaya Charmanvati Vedika Kshipra Vetravati Mahasuranadi Khyata Ch Devaya Tasmai Namaha Om Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudadvaja Mangalam Pundari Kaksha Mangalaya Tano Harihi Hari Om Tat Sat. That's the end. Now that the rites of the ceremony have concluded, and now that we have had the opportunity to watch Nikhil and Richa embark on this brave journey, it is time for Nikhil and Richa to seek the blessings or Ashirvad of the elders who have assembled here by touching their feet as a sign of their humility and respect. And after their parents, they will seek Ashirvad from their grandparents. Thank you. Thank you. And in the spirit of receiving and giving many blessings, Richa's Buajis will now sing a song on behalf of the couple.
Good job. Good job.
I think we have to fill time.
शहर दा माली जी माली बागल
कच्ची डोरियों 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 से मैनू तू बांध ले पक्की यारियों 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 में होंदे ना फासले ए नाराजगी कागजी सारी तेरी मेरे सोहणिया सुन ले मेरी दिल दियां गल्लां करांगे नाल नाल बैठ के अख नाले अख नू मिला के दिल दियां गल्लां करांगे रोज रोज बैठ के सच्चियां सताए मैनू क्यों दिखाए मैनू क्यों एवें झूठी मूठी रुस के रुसा के दिल दियां गल्लां करांगे नाल नाल बैठ के अख नाले अख नू मिला के छुपा के रखा अखा ते सजा के तू है मेरी वफा रख अपना बना के मैं तेरे लिया यारा ना पावी कदे दूरियां तेनू रखा तो छुपा के रखा अखा ते सजा के तू है मेरी वफा रख अपना बना के मैं तेरे लिया यारा पावी कदे दूरियां मैं जीना है तेरा सांसों में बातों में रोशनी जो ही बदली दिल की ताल है आहा आया एक ख्याल है आहा पाते हमें जिंदगी एक बार क्यों न करे खुल के हम इसका प्यार जाने किसका है हमें इंतजार ये जिंदगी यही है और यही सांसों में